The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversations and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now, here's your hosts Frank Allan and Brian Camp.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London, and it's at 1 a.m., 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Everybody's getting ready to get going, get started, and here we are. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. We're here every Thursday at this time, and we come together and bring you all kinds of good conversation and a little relaxation at the same time. What other show could do that? But we're here, and we're going to be here for a whole full hour. That's right. We're here every Thursday at this time. And those of you who have been around with us for all of these years, the regular people, we thank you so much for being along with us. We hope that you will be able to stay around with us for the whole entire hour. If you can't stay for the whole entire hour, whatever time you could spend with us, the amount of time you could spend with us, we really would appreciate it. And because we know that sometimes you're busy and you have to do other things other than watch the show, but we're glad that you're there. And we hope the case is that you're able to stay for the entire hour. I want to thank all of you people who are brand new. If you're very new to the show, maybe here for the very first time, well, the show operates like this. Now, as the host of the show, I get things rolling, get prepped. And what I mean by that is I may throw out a conversation that we could start working on as we do the show. We don't have to stay with that conversation piece for a whole full hour, because that's where you come in. Because since you're watching us and you're on your computer or your cell phone or maybe your tablet, and you could watch us, you have a keyboard there. And if you like to indulge in conversation and create your own topic that you can bring everybody into, that's great. We do welcome that. All you have to do is just type in whatever you have to do. I'll see you right there on the big screen. We'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. Now, the show is about that. Free exchange of ideas and of opinions. Now, all of us have them. We all have them, and we want to share them right here. So if you have an opinion about anything at all, we don't care what it is. If it's important to you, then it's important to the rest of us, and we'll entertain all of that. Okay? So glad to have you aboard with us, and here we are once again on this Thursday. Here we are, April 9th to be exact. And some of you may be celebrating a birthday. We wish you a happy birthday, whatever it is. But we're glad to have you aboard with us. Now, those of you who are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, because we are on two different platforms. We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. And what we want you to do is tell your friends about it. And you can do this very easily. It's very easy. Cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on. In other words, what I mean by platform is the link that's connected to you wherever you're watching us, and send it to all of your family and friends. Now, the people who watch us on Facebook refer to that as tagging. So you can tag this link to your friends, and they'll see it's coming from you. They'll know it's coming from you because you're friends and they know you well, and all they have to do is click on to that link that you sent them, and it brings them directly to us, and they can watch the show. They can be part of the show as well, and they can indulge in conversation along with us. The same thing, again, for YouTube. You know, cut and paste the platform and send it out to as many as you want or as many as you can. And if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, hopefully they'll come back again and again and enjoy the show with us. So that's what we want you to do. Tell your family, friends, and relatives. Tell everyone that you know that we're on the air. Now, what we want you to do too, especially if you're on YouTube, we want you to take the time out right now to go on the YouTube channel and subscribe to us, right? Because and by the way, it's free. No charge for subscribing to it. When you hear that word subscribe, subscription, that says money, not all the time, not in this case. It's very free. So all you have to do is click on to that strip or that little icon where it says subscribe, and it's in black border, white print. Click onto that, and that's it. It gives you the opportunity to know that whenever we come on live from now on, and you happen to be online and you forget about the show, well, we'll give you an instant reminder. Instant notification will pop up to let you know that we're ready and you're there. Now, sometimes you may get an instant notification when the show is not due to come on the air. That could be something else. That could be maybe we're posting a video or a still shot or whatever it is, anything. It's just a reminder that there's some activity going along. But again, whenever we come on live, you get that instant notification. That's what we want you to do. Remember, all of the views and the expressions, the opinions expressed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, or any other form of social media or broadcast facility. Okay, so we got that out of the way. My friend Brian, brother, Brian Camp, my co-host, is here with us, and usually out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but he's here in the great city, the greatest city in the world, New York City. How are you enjoying so far?
It's the greatest city in the world. It's great to be here. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. It is 45 degrees. I'm in Mount Vernon, New York. Mount Vernon. So, and
45.
yeah, it's supposed to be nice tomorrow here in the upper part of New York. It's supposed to be 63 degrees and everything. But yeah, so I'm live here, staying with my son here in his home with my grandson. So having a wonderful time. Saw all the grandkids already, all four of them, and just winding down for a couple more days here, and then back to the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
I bet you can't wait to get back there, right? The weather is probably better off over there.
Not really, not that much. It's not that much. It's been cool over there too. It's warmer, yes, it is warmer back there, but it's not that much of a difference, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
enjoy myself. I went to visit Cat's Deli.
oh, did you?
Oh yeah.
Spill the beans.
Oh my goodness. Cat's Deli for a sandwich. A sandwich is $31 for a sandwich on rye bread.
Wow.
But it was worth it. I
Wow.
don't usually do that, but I had to go back. Even took pictures of it too, of the place. Yeah, it's just sometimes you want to go back to your own where you grew up at. You want to see things that you used to go to and cats and down there by Delancey Street, and everything was just great. A little cold. I didn't really anticipate it dressed warmly because I guess that's the North Carolina blood in me now.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was great. It was worth standing online for 30 minutes just to
Yeah.
make sure that I get myself a nice fat sandwich. Meat was like this.
Wow.
And I asked for 2 pieces of bread too, so I got 2 sandwiches.
Wow.
Yeah.
When we talked last week about cats, I said it was probably around 20 some odd dollars or something. And now you talk
$31.
30.
Yeah.
Wow.
$31, yeah.
And did you finish the sandwich right there, or did you put some of it
I brought
away?
it home. I brought it to Mount Vernon, and I just was able just to eat it slowly, and it was filling. It was filling. Yes, it was. You know,
Oh,
so
so you didn't eat it. You didn't sit down and eat it. You took it with you.
it was too much of a crowd. You had to wait online. There's 2 lines. You have to wait just to get in,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you order, then you got to wait along the side just to get a table.
Wow.
That's how busy and crowded it is.
Wow.
Yep.
That place has been up there for many years. I mean, long before me,
That's
you
right.
know.
That's
And
right.
God, well, I know that you mentioned the Cat's restaurant where you live in Charlotte, that you will never go back there again.
I'll never go back there. What a lie that this man had told us he says, no, this is first after I buy the sandwich, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, where's the rest of the meat? I said, and he said, oh, this is not the cats in New York, although I know the people there. Well, why you have the name? And they're not even affiliated. But I'm pretty sure he had to get permission or pay for just to make sure that he's allowed to use the name cats. But there's so many pictures up in there. They have security in there. Just to, they have a guideline where you have to show it to, once you purchase a sandwich, you got to have a ticket. And
Yeah.
then they take the ticket, they tell you the amount, then you got to go on the other side of the room to pay for it. And when you leave, you got to give security the ticket that says that's paid for and everything. So I try to walk it off. It's been a couple of days since I try to walk it off and everything. But yeah, that's something.
Is some of the sandwich still around? Or
Same
are you?
thing. Corned beef, pastrami.
No,
They
but I mean,
got.
do you have any left still?
Oh no, no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay. So you made sure
no.
you took care of that.
I took
Did
care of business right then and there when I got home here, Mount Vernon. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but how long did it take you to eat it?
Um, 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Yeah, yeah.
That would have that I would imagine that sandwich would have been very good with a baseball game or
Oh
some
yeah.
kind of.
I had to actually starve myself for the day just
Uh-huh,
to get that sandwich and everything. I
uh-huh.
shouldn't have done it because I felt a little faint, a little weak and everything. So make sure I don't do
You
that
went
again.
you went there today?
I went there today is what, Thursday? I went there on Monday, I believe. Monday.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it
Well,
was worth it.
it's a good adventure. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure the people in Charlotte, North Carolina, that knows about the cats where you are probably envious if you tell them about it. You should have took a picture of the sandwich and showed your friends back home.
I took a picture of the deli. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
But
what
I
I'm
didn't take a
saying,
picture of the sandwich though.
that would have been great. This way, you could have went back to the cats in Charlotte, North Carolina, and told them that's not a sandwich. This is a sandwich. Was
Yeah.
Hey guys, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. I'm Frank Allen, my co-host Brian Kent with me. Brian also has the latest developments in today's world of sports. That's coming up pretty soon, in just a few shakes. But I want to let you know that all this month, of course, we're celebrating Scottish American Heritage Month. So those of you who are in the Scottish community, and you want to chime in on conversation, talk about that. Maybe you have some kind of event that's going on in your area, in your community, that you would like us to convey to the rest of the people here. We would be glad to do that. But we're celebrating that all month long for all of April. That's what we got going. And hey, we're broadcasting in Scotland too. So if you're out there, you could chime in conversation as well. Also, it's National Alcohol Awareness Month. And this is very important that you do. I do have a number just in case that you know someone who may have a problem with alcohol, a family member, a friend, or whatever it is. I have the Drug and Alcohol Rehab and Detox Center uh, number, and you can call them. Now, what I want you to do, I'm going to give you the number, but these numbers that I want you to take down, I want you to also make sure that you learn more about them, do your research around them. Okay, so that's Drug and Alcohol Rehab and Detox. That number is 866-584-7022. That's 866-584-7022. Also is Parkinson's Awareness Month. And maybe you have a family member or friend that could use the help, and you can give them that help. You can call their line. Their number is 800-551. No, I'm sorry, it's 888-965-6005. That's 888-965-6005. That's Parkinson's Awareness Month. All month long, we'll be telling you about this. Also, it's National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Very, very important. Okay. If you need any help with that, the number is 800-551-1300. That's 800-551-1300. and it's National Autism Awareness Month as well. You can call them. They have a hotline for the Autism Society Helpline, which is 800 328 8476. That's 800 328 8476. That's what we have right now. Actress Gabrielle Union is mourning the loss of her father, Sylvester Cully Union Jr. The actress announced in an emotional Sunday Instagram post that her father died at 81 last Friday after a lengthy battle with dementia. And paying tribute to his life and legacy, Union took time to remember her father and acknowledge the difficulty of losing a loved one gradually to that disease. Brian, I think it's your show now. It's time for sports with the latest developments in today's world of sports, unless, of course, you want to talk about Gabrielle Union, who I think was one of your favorite kind of people.
She's my favorite female actress. You know, I tell people that was my how would I say without getting in trouble? She was my imaginary wife before I met my real wife.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I told my present wife, I said, Kat, I'm let you know that I've been married before. I had an imaginary wife of actress Gabrielle Union, but but she broke up with me because she decided to marry Dwayne Wade, the basketball player. So so that's why I wasn't able to hitch with her. But now I'm happy with my wife now. So,
uh,
you know, so Gabrielle Union and I are just friends from a long, long distance and everything. So
okay. I'm going to ask you to introduce me to Gabrielle because I never met her. I never met her.
you never met her.
No, I never met her.
Okay, maybe next time that I will and everything.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, let me get the sports on. Let me pull up my sports thing. Can you still see me? You still can see me, right?
Oh yeah, I can see you. I can see you.
Okay, great.
You're
Okay, because
you're
I
on
can't see you because I'm reading my notes. In the NFL, Fernando Mendoza, the projected #1 pick in the NFL draft coming up April 23rd to the 25th, that's the NFL draft, has informed the league that he is not planning to attend the draft. Sources told ESPN Adam Schefter. Mendoza wants to share the draft experience with his family in Miami. The Las Vegas Raiders are widely expected to select Mendoza as the first overall pick after the Heisman Trophy winner quarterback led Indiana to the college playoff championship, as we just saw not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago. This year, the draft will be held in Pittsburgh, and with the first round, like I said, will be April 23rd. He's decided he wants to share the moment with his family, which is great, which is great and everything. So we totally understand that this is not the first time somebody else has ever done that. Who's drafted #1? They want their families to be with them once their name is called, once they are drafted. So this day in sports, I don't really have much to talk about. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. I do have something to talk about. Congratulations to the UCLA women's basketball team as they won the national championship this past Sunday, beating South Carolina. UCLA was bigger, stronger, and more hungrier. And this is their first NCAA women's championship to go along with the men's, who have like around 12, I think. They got 12, I believe. They are, the most in college basketball, but the women finally got their championship. And for the men, the Michigan Wolverines, they defeated the UConn Connecticut University team. They beat them on Monday. So college basketball is finally over, and we can move on to full time in basketball as the playoffs begin with basketball, and we could direct our attention to Major League Baseball. They had a big fight there. Yeah, it was last night, I believe, or 2 nights ago, where they actually were both benches cleared, and it got a little ugly. So there's be some suspensions. There's going to be some fines. And this is what happens when you fight when the bench is clear. So um, so this is an unfortunate thing that did happen, but it is what it is. And the NBA playoffs, as we wind down the regular season, is coming to an end on Sunday, and we're going to start having the playoffs. That's going to start along with the National Hockey League as well. And so it's sports all year round. This is the time of the year. March Madness is gone, and we just move on to the next sport. So this day in sports, April 9th, 1947, Major League Baseball, Happy Chandler suspends Leo DeRocha 1 year for Association of Known Gamblers. I'm not going to call no ethnic group name out, but you know, you can't. Back in those days, you was not allowed to even be near people that was in organized crime. So, bad move. That was back in 1947, the same year that Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. 1965, the first game at Houston Astrodome, Mickey Mantle hits the first inside the park indoor home run. It was an inside the park, but it was an indoor home run. As you know, that's a new stadium. 1978. By the way, that game was an exhibition game. Don't want to confuse that. The Yankees was playing the Astros, and it was a league game or a division game. No, it was a exhibition game because they at that time they did not play in the same league. 1978, to separate games, David Thompson scored 73 points. George Gervin scored 63 points. That was all in the same day. One scored 73 for one game for the Denver Nuggets, and the other one was the San Antonio Spurs. George Gervin scored 63. In 1982, the LA Lakers blocked 21 shots against the Denver Nuggets, setting an NBA record. 1985, Tom Seaver starts a record 15th opening day game. 1989, Ricky Henderson steals his 800th career base. Birthdays on this day, 1898, NFL halfback coach, Hall of Fame founder, and first coach of the Packers, was born in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Green Bay, Wisconsin. That was Lambeau, Mr. Coach Lambeau. They named the field after him, Lambeau Field. 1946, happy birthdays to Nate Colbert, Major League Baseball first baseman for the San Diego Padres, was born in St. Louis, Missouri. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a very short update in sports.
Well, since we're on the subject of sports, I have to go back to my Yankees. I have to talk about them, right? They lost again today. I was watching the game this afternoon. They played the Oakland A's, and the Oakland A's beat them in the series, 2 games to 1, and they, they play pretty good. But now the Yankees are 8-4 on the season so far. So they're a little slacking now. They're
Well,
slacking
I
a
tell
little.
you, it could have been worse because the Oakland A's should have won that first game too.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's
the Yankees
absolutely,
came back and
absolutely
won
right.
that.
I was going
Yeah,
to say that they could have swept them. They could have swept the Yankees.
yeah,
But the Yankees managed to beat them in that game, and then they come back and they win the next game. Now the
yeah.
Oakland A's play the Mets tomorrow. They're playing in New York.
Yes.
Playing in New York. They're here in New
That's what
York.
they're trying to do now. What they're trying to do now in sports, especially in Major League Baseball, they're
Yeah,
trying to bring the California teams out west
yeah,
to play the Yankees. They usually play the Yankees later on in the season,
yeah.
but since Interleague came into play, now the A's play the Mets this year. So they say
Yeah.
to themselves, why not let's bring the two California teams or the two New York teams
Hmm.
um, to come into New York. So the
Hmm.
A's are playing the Yankees. Now the A's are going to be playing the Mets.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And they did that a couple of years ago with the Giants. The Giants came in for a 6-game series, 3 with the Yankees and then 3 with the Mets.
Hmm. Yeah.
That saved money and saved travel.
Yeah. I was watching all of the Yankee games because I don't usually watch the Yes Channel anymore. I got my reasons. I don't watch some the announcers there. They kind of like irk me a little bit. It's like you remember when in the old days when you were in school and the class act up, and the only way the teacher can could get your attention is take her fingernails or his fingernails and scratch on a blackboard.
Ah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's what the Yankee announcers are like to me. All right, I don't know. I really shouldn't talk about them like that, but I'm being honest about it. I'm keeping it 100%. I watched the A's and the Yankees on on a California channel. So they have a channel in California. It's NBC. It's NBC Sports California, and I watched the entire game on that, and to me, it was more relaxing way to go. As a matter of fact, whenever I watch any of the Yankee games, I watch them on the channels that they're playing on the opposite the opposing team's channel. And
So you don't watch Yes Network then, huh?
no, not anymore. If I have to, I will. The first few games I had to because they were the only places that would broadcast the Yankees.
What's our
Uh,
good friend's name again? Who does the TV broadcast? Oh,
you
I
want
forget his
to
name.
you want to go there?
Yeah,
Okay,
what's his name again?
Michael K.
Michael K. Yes, Michael K. Yeah, yeah. I didn't get a chance to see the game. I listened to the game, and on the
Yeah,
radio side was Susan Wallman. She was
yeah,
doing the Yankee game. I was listening to a little bit of it. Susan Wallman is taking over from John Sterling, who
yeah,
retired
yeah,
last year and everything. So
yeah.
Susan Wallman has been at that, been doing Yankee games for a long time and everything.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
Michael Kay is the one that does the TV side.
yeah. Susan Waltman used to do TV.
Yes, she did.
She used to do TV, but she went over to radio. And I think Michael K, all due respect, I think Michael K should thank his lucky stars and thank John Sterling for choosing radio over TV. Otherwise, he wouldn't have that job on TV. I mean, he may
Well,
have had
to
a job,
well,
but they,
well, well, to Michael Kay's credit, he said it's an honor to work with John Sterling because they used to work together on the TV side or the radio side,
yeah.
and he more like groomed him more into because this, to be honest with you, this is Michael Kay's dream job. Believe it or not,
Oh
he's been a
yeah,
Yankee fan.
I
He's been a
heard,
Yankee fan for all his life.
I heard his story. It was a fascinating story he told. He was a kid. I think he grew up in the Bronx too.
Yes,
I believe he grew up in the
yes,
Bronx.
he did.
I
Yep.
gotta check. I gotta check more on that. But yeah, that was his dream job. I'm basically I'm happy for him because I'm happy for anyone who can get their dream job. And he got his, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy for it. It's just that I just rather not listen to yes announcers. I just rather go on the opposite team. But listen, every once in a while I go back to yes when I can't find the Yankee game on any other channel. You know,
Yeah.
it depends. You got to keep a watch on it, and not just for the Yankees, for all of the teams because they play on different outlets. Sometimes you may find them on FS1, FS2, or ESPN, or because they have a lot of sports channels you can
Yeah.
choose.
Yeah.
So you have to
Yeah. I
check out.
think I think what it is that Michael Kay in his contract, a lot of the announcers who's been doing this for years, sometimes they want to only do home games or do a certain amount of games or cut down the traveling, you know.
Yeah,
I know that Vince Scully was doing that before he passed away, before he retired.
yeah.
Um, Walt Frazier, who's the analyst for the New York Knicks, I think in his contracts, he's only going to do home games and some away games and everything. So,
I think Michael K cut down on his going away, on his road games since he got married. He since got married and have now he has a family. So
yeah.
I believe he does it that way. Now I don't even know if he has this radio show still. Does he still have
He
his radio
was
show?
supposed to have been finishing out his contract on ESPN radio.
Uh-huh.
His show was coming on at 4 o'clock. I don't know the latest since I'm not in New York anymore.
Yeah,
We got to find out about that. You
yeah.
know.
I know that, when he did his radio show, it would be simulcast on the radio and on Yes at the same time. And I used to watch it, but I haven't seen it lately, so I'm not sure if he's
Yeah,
still doing that radio show. I mean, the guy he had so many things under his belt, I guess
yeah,
it's like hard. And now that he's married, he has a kid, you know, um, he cuts back on it. But the Yankees obviously love him. He's been there for years. He's been there like,
yeah,
oh, what,
yeah.
close to 30 years?
Something like that. Yeah, because he's been there for a while.
Yeah.
But this is what they're doing nowadays with broadcasters. When the teams that they work for go away
Mhm.
for a long period of time, they're actually back at home in the stadium doing the play-by-play.
Even though the team is not there.
Yes, that's what
Oh,
they do now.
oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, again, all of that is cutting traveling time out, and
Yeah.
they'll go in the booth of the home team, even though
Mhm.
the team is out in another city playing a series and everything. That's what
Yeah.
they do. And what
Remember?
they do is that if the game is nationally broadcast, then they don't come on at all.
Mhm.
ESPN or Fox will pick up the game. So that's their
Mhm.
way of being, working from home, put it like that. Like some people that have regular jobs work remote from home.
Mhm.
Same thing with the baseball teams, but they got to be in the stadium, in the home stadium, in the
Yeah.
booth with no
Yeah.
crowd, and they
Yeah.
just watch in the monitor like what we're doing now.
Mhm.
And that's how they call the games.
Yeah.
And this
Remember
all
the
of this is all of this has been happening since the pandemic as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember when the pandemic was on and they had cutout fans. They had
Cardboard
card,
fans, yeah,
cardboard fans, cutouts, and they sat them in the chairs to make it look
got them in the
authentic.
chair.
And then they had the soundtrack of the crowd.
Exactly.
That had to be a boring way to play a baseball game.
They did that for the basketball too, as well for the hockey.
Yeah,
They didn't do it so much for the football, and
yeah,
I think the reason why they didn't do it for the football because I think when it's cold outside, I think COVID wasn't really affecting the people when it's cold, but
yeah.
but they were scattered. It was every other seat and everything.
Yeah, and in wrestling, just to change up a bit, in wrestling, I don't know if you really actually consider that a sport anymore, but in wrestling, when the pandemic was on, they had all of the monitors. They had thousands of monitors where people usually sit, and I don't know how they did it, whether they had people to join in, fans to join in, to be on TV, to be on the monitors. They had their own little camera pointed at them, and there were like a lot of fans out there. And they were
Yeah,
playing, and the wrestlers are out there wrestling in front of all of these monitors. All of these
that's right.
monitors with people on it.
That's right. Yeah.
But you see, that's innovation. That's innovation. People
Yes,
have a
it is.
way, even though you may have something like a pandemic, something like distressing like that, you could always get around it. You could always get around it.
Mhm.
And do you remember the old days when and back to baseball when all of the announcers shared the tours of radio and TV? Let's say, for instance, Phil Rizzuto used to do like 3 innings on, or maybe 6 innings on TV, and then he'd go to the radio booth. Remember they used to do that?
I remember the Mets doing it with Lindsey
Yeah,
Nelson, Ralph Penna, and Bob Murphy.
yeah,
The first 3 innings is with one. Then they
yeah,
do the 2 innings 4 and 5,
yeah,
6 or whatever, and then Lindsey Nelson for some reason was the last one that he'll do running innings 7, 8, and 9. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I
I don't.
remember him say, "Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? This is Lindsey Nelson here." With his loud, bright, color checkered suits and
Yeah, I
everything. It's
know.
amazing.
He used to wear those outrageous
Yeah,
jackets.
Lindsey
Only
Nelson.
only he could have got away with that. But
Yeah,
I think back then those jackets were in style because I had a couple of jackets like that back then.
yeah,
You know, as a matter of fact, I had a whole suit one time like that. I,
yeah.
I I couldn't imagine anyone wearing anything like that now today.
Crazy. Yeah.
We're doing a sports show here. Would you believe it? All of this
Yeah.
time, we're talking sports. Anyway, it's Talk Back Live, and we're going to be here for the duration for the next, well, we got another 25 minutes to go on the show. We got a little time. And those of you who are watching right now, if you have any friends out there, get them involved. Cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on right now and send it to them. And all they have to do is click onto it, and they will see it, and they will be right here with us, and they can talk as well. And if you want to join in the conversation, whether it's sports or whatever it is that you want to talk about, we're right here for you. I want to say hello to Brian Mira out in Canada joining us. He's watching us, though, but he's watching us on YouTube. So I don't think you'll be able to see him, Brian. But we thank everyone who's out there. And the other ones who are here, there are other people here now, but I won't mention their names because you would have to say something because we want to respect your privacy. All right. So you would have to say something in order for us to address you personally. But we're glad you're here anyway, and we hope that you stay with us.
I just want to say hi to Brian, my namesake, his namesake. Welcome to be on the show and everything.
Good. Hey, listen, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope maybe you took care of yours, Brian. It's tax day on Wednesday, April 15th. That's, a week from, it's coming up next Wednesday. It's tax day. Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance to do your taxes, you have up until the 15th. And if you have to go beyond that, don't forget, if you have to do some late filing, some people do late filing for whatever reason, you could always go to your place where you do your taxes and file, put in an application for that, because you don't want to owe anyone. I don't like to owe anyone anything. And when I did my taxes, I did it the first day, the first available day it was open. I went there and I got it out of the way because I don't like, I hate that time of the year.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But sometimes it has to be done. Okay, let's go back in time on this day in history, because on this day in history in 1866, the Civil Rights Bill passes over President Andrew Johnson's veto. Passed right over it. He didn't want it, but tough. In 1928, Mae West, New York's debut in a daring new play called Diamond Lil, that was released. On this day in history in 1939, American contralto Marian Anderson sings before 75,000 people at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., appearances organized after Anderson was denied permission to sing to an integrated audience in Constitution Hall. On this day in history, 1940, Nazi Germany invaded Denmark and Norway, and Denmark surrenders after a 6-hour battle. On this day in history in 1950, Bob Hope did his first TV appearance. On this day in history, 1954, WECT TV, Channel 6 in Wilmington, North Carolina, as an NBC and CBS station begins broadcasting. On this day in history, 1962, the 34th Academy Awards go to West Side Story. Do you know that film, Brian?
I'm pretty familiar with that film. Yeah, it's one of the greatest films of all time. My favorite.
Well, they made the Best Picture and Director and 8 more that year. And also the award went to Sophia Loren for 2 women, and Maxie Millam Shell for Judgment in Nuremberg. On this day in history, 1962, U.S. President John F. Kennedy throws out the first ball at Washington's new D.C. stadium. On this day in history, 1963, Winston Churchill becomes the first honorary U.S. citizen. Back in 1965, the Beatles' Ticket to Ride, that single, was released in the UK. In 1967, the first Boeing 737-100 series is maiden flight. On this day in history, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was buried in Atlanta, Georgia. And in 1968, that same year, Ralph Abernathy was elected to the head Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Back in 1971, Ringo Starr releases a single, It Don't Come Easy, produced by George Harrison in the UK. In 1976, All the President's Men, which was a good movie starring Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford, was released. Back in 1983, David Bowie's single Let's Dance becomes the number one song to hit number one in both the US and the UK. In 1986, TV show Dallas announces that it will revive the Bobby Ewing character. And back in 1992, John Major is elected Prime Minister of the UK after the Conservative Party wins the most votes in British electoral history. On this day in history in 1992, U.S. federal court finds Panamanian director Manuel Noriega guilty of 8 out of 10 drug and racketeering charges. In 1994, Rock for the Rainforest, that benefit concert that was held at Carnegie Hall in New York City, and the performers were including Sting, Elton John, James Taylor, Whitney Houston, Luciano Pavarotti, Aaron Neville, Tammy Wynette, Branford Marsalis, and Larry Adler. And in 2012, The Lion King becomes the highest grossing Broadway show, overtaking The Phantom of the Opera. And baritone singer Paul Robeson was born on this day in 1893 in Princeton, New Jersey. He died January 23rd, 1976, at the age of 77. On this day in history in 1903, actor Ward Bond. Now, a lot of you may not remember him, but back in the 50s, he was on this show called Wagon Train, a Western, and it is a wonderful life. A Wonderful Life. He was also there too, and he was born in Bankelman, Nebraska, and he died in 1960. Playboy founder Hugh Hefner was born on this day in 1926 in Chicago, Illinois. He died September 27th in 2017 at 91 years old from natural causes. Singer Carl Perkins, Don't Step on My Blue Suede Shoes, was born on this day in 1932 in Jackson, Tennessee. He died January 19th, 1998. At the age of 65 years old from complications from several minor strokes. In 1945, jazz drummer Steve Gadd was born in Irondequoit, New York, at the age of 81. Actor Dennis Quaid was born on this day in 1954 in Houston, Texas. He's 72 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Also, actress Cynthia Nixon, who was on Sex in the City, was born on this day in 1966 in New York City. She's 60 years old today. In 1979, actress Keisha Knight Polo, who played Rudy on The Cosby Show. Also, she played Miranda on Tyler Perry's House of Pain, was born in Newark, New Jersey. Actress Kristen Stewart was born on this day in 1990 in Los Angeles, California. She's 36 years old today. Actress Ellie Fanning was born on this day in 1998 in Coyer, Georgia. She's 28 years old today. In 1966, actress Sophia Loren marries film producer Carlo Ponti, and they got married in Paris, France. In 2005, Charles, Prince of Wales, marries Camille Parker Bowles. In 2012, salsa artist Mark Anthony files for divorce from Jennifer Lopez after 7 years of marriage. Architect Frank Lloyd Wright died on this day in 1959 at the age of 91 years old from surgical complications. He was born June 8th, 1867, and he was born in Richland Center, Wisconsin. In 1988, soul singer Brooke Benton, who recorded It's Just a Matter of Time and Rainy Night in Georgia, dies of meningitis at the age of 56. In 1988, R&B singer Dave Prater, who was the other half of Sam and Dave that did Soul Man, and he dies in a car accident at the age of 50 years old. In 1996, New York City kitty show New York City Kitty Show host Sandy Becker. Remember Sandy Becker? Well, he died at the age of 74 years old in 1219. Charles Van Doren, who was an American teacher, writer, and quiz show host, he was on a contestant when they had that scandal back in the 1950s on 21. He died at the age of 93. Prince Philip died on this day in 2021. He was 99 years old. He was born June 10th, 1921. And he was born in Greece in 2021. Former U.S. Attorney Ramsey Clark dies at the age of 93 years old. So that's what's happening on this day in history. So if you know anyone or anybody or anything that happened on this day in history that I didn't mention because we don't know it all, but maybe you know something, maybe you want to send it to us. I'll see it right there if you type it in. And of course, we'll relay it to everyone else. So we thank you. So happy birthday to some of the people that I had just mentioned too. Now, listen, if you want to get in touch with us, or you want to get in touch with me or Brian, or you want to talk about this show, I have an email address and a telephone number. You can do that. Let me give you the email address. First email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. The telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Please keep all of that information I just gave you into all of your electronic devices. Now, if you have all of them, put it in all of them, such as your computer, be it laptop or desktop, maybe your tablet or your telephone. Now, you carry that everywhere you go anyway, right? So you'll have that. And just in case one is not available, you could have something else to fall back on. Let me give you that email address again. One is frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I have those movies. I didn't tell you about it earlier. I usually give it a plug at the beginning of the show, but I go into the Turner Classic Movie Vault, right, and pick out the ones that I think that you would like. My picks of the week for your weekend. The weekend is coming up. You do a lot of things, and one of the things you want to do is probably catch up on some movies. So this week I have 3. So let's get started with it right now. Let's go back to 1956 for this one. This is called Somebody Up There Likes Me. Somebody Up There Likes Me, right? And this is a great movie starring Paul Newman, Pierre Angeli, and Everett Sloan. And this is a story about the boxer, the heavyweight champion boxer, Rocky Graciano. Paul Newman played him. It's a good movie. It's a black and white, and you can see it on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Dial M for Murder from 1954, Ray Milland, Grace Kelly, and Robert Cummings. And that's on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Another great movie, 1966, Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, and George Segal. And that's Turner Classic Movies on Sunday. You can see that at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. All of these movies are out there. And if you have your cable, you can go on to Turner Classic Movies, go over there and check out the rest of the movies that may be available, because these are my picks of the week. They may be more that you may like. You go there and check it out. There are a lot of them there. And you can add them on to your bucket list on what to watch. Okay, so let me give you those movies once again. That's Somebody Up There Likes Me with Paul Newman, Pierre Angeli, and Everett Sloan. Turner Classic Movies, 4 p.m. Eastern. And Dial In for Murder with Ray Milland, Grace Kelly, and Robert Cummings. That's Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, and George Segal. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. I think you're going to like all of these movies. It's Talk Back Live. And Brian, you know what? I don't know where to begin, but I will begin here. I really don't know where to begin, but since this is like the latest development, did you see Melania Trump today? Did she you see she came out and made her little speech and made her little pitch about the Epstein files? Did you see that today?
I've heard parts of it while I was driving.
Yeah.
Um, she's defending her husband. Of course, she's going to defend her husband. She's told to do it. You know, sometimes, again, I know I make jokes, but I'm really serious. Sometimes I forget that she exists and she's married to this president, married to this guy. She's trying to clear her husband's name by not saying she don't was never introduced. You got to understand something. This man is desperate now. He's running for his life. I don't know about you, but all his supporters that I know personally are not coming out on the internet. They're not saying anything. And I said, look at here. After he made an ass of himself last night or the night before, talking about the deadline where he's going to slam dunk a whole nation and just demolish the entire civilization of Iran. But if you know the people, the Arab world, that the Arabic people in this world, they're very dangerous people. They have suicide bombers. When they give their life up like this, that's their way of going to meet God. They sacrifice their life knowing that this is for their God. So they don't mind dying. Now, took a beating from Israel and from the United States and with their land, but they hold the keys to oil. So the president looks so weak now. China, Russia, North Korea are all laughing at the United States of America as we speak. We lost so much power now.
I never forget years ago when I was a boy, my mom took me to church and I was a member of, in Brooklyn, member of Holy Trinity Baptist Church back in
I
those
just
days.
passed that church. I just passed the church today, believe it or
Did
not.
you? Oh, okay.
Right on Broadway and Ralph, yes. But
Right.
continue.
But that I remember we used to we used to have a little church. It was like on Franklin Avenue in Brooklyn, right next to the library. There's a library over there. That's where it originally was. And they moved it over to and Ralph Avenue and Broadway. I remember Reverend Thomas S. Harden was his name. Now, all of my years going to church and listening to ministers, he has to be the best minister by far that I would ever listen to. I don't know what to say today, but he was like a father. But anyway, I never forget what he said one day. He was preaching. I never forget what he said one day. He said that America will fall to their knees. And back then I was a little boy. I didn't know what he meant by that. And as I live and as I breathe and I look back on a lot of things and I see what's happening today, I kind of understand. I kind of get it. You know how sometimes an adult way before you, whether it's your mother or your father, they say something to you and you say, I don't get that. I don't understand that. And they will say, well, one of these days you will. And then you grow up, you start to understand why they said it and what it really meant. But when he said that, I said, I don't get it. America fall to their knees. This is the most powerful country on the planet. But as time goes on, people are getting weak, and I hope it doesn't get to the point where we're going to be like way behind everyone else.
You got to understand something. We look like fools in like the last 48 hours. This president set a time at 8 o'clock that they was going to strike if they don't submit to us.
Yeah.
And that same day, hours before that, they agreed to a ceasefire for 2 weeks.
He tacoed out.
He punked out.
Hmm.
He punked out.
Hmm.
He, it's I feel a little uncomfortable speaking about the president of the United States, that
In
the
this
country that
fashion.
we live in.
Yeah.
But I can't accept him as president of the United States. Now, J.D. Vance, the vice president, J.D. Vance should be calling for the 25th Amendment.
I was going to get to that too. I was going to get to that. And all of this thing started Easter Sunday. Now I don't watch the news on the weekends. By no means. I take a break for on the weekends. I don't want to hear about it. But it doesn't mean that breaking news like that doesn't get back to you. It gets back to you in some form. Either it'll come up on your telephone, or someone will call you and say, "Did you hear what he said?" And I got this, and let me read what you heard about the thing that he tweeted on his 99 cent platform. What he tweeted, and it was a lot of vulgarity. I'm going to read it, but I'm gonna do it as mildly as I can. Okay, this is exactly what he wrote. He said Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up into one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. And then he ends off saying, "Praise be to Allah." That I mean, what the hell is that?
He's mocking them. Since when does he know a thing about God?
He
I
doesn't.
shouldn't say that. Everybody have their own religious thing, but
Yeah.
Donald Trump, man, but you don't hear nothing from his followers. At least on my end, I got a lot of former co-workers who
Mm-hmm.
are so loyal to him and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
but he bitched up. He bitched up.
Yeah.
And what he did made himself look real bad, but most of all, made this country look weak.
Yeah.
And North Korea, Russia, and China, who are our three major enemies, our
Mm-hmm.
adversaries,
Mm-hmm.
are looking back and looking at us saying, wow. And then he got the nerve to say NATO didn't want to help us. Really? Mm.
You
When
know,
you talk bad about an agency like NATO, now you want to, this is what you get. They don't want to help us now. Maybe they don't want to help you, but because you're attached to us as the chief, commander in chief of our country, well, we have to suffer because of your stupidity, Mr. President.
all of the people that you watch on TV that are or maybe were MAGA supporters, they're going to still be Republicans, especially
Of course.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's not going anywhere. She's going to be Republican. But you see what she came out. She came out and sent a message out to the people in the cabinet, and she says, um, uh, Trump's advisors to fall on their knees. He need to fall on their knees and beg for forgiveness from God after his evil Easter post, which I read to you already. Um, Tucker Carlson, or whatever his name is, Tucker Carlson came out and talked. People like Megyn Kelly. I don't like these people. Megyn Kelly. What's the other one's name? Candace Owens. All of these people are coming out and say, "Hey, what is this? This guy is nuts. This guy is nuts." And you're right. You're right. I think this is a good time for them to come out to invoke that 50
25th
25th
Amendment.
Amendment. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a good time to invoke that.
JD
It's
Vance could
never,
be JD Vance
yeah,
could be a hero.
that's right. It's going to take that cabinet to do that. They're going to have to vote on that. It's going to take that cabinet, but they're not going to do it.
Nope.
They're not going to do it. Uh, but this would be the first time if they use it, it would be the first time they ever used it because this thing was written 59 years ago, back in 1967.
That's right.
The Fifth Amendment. 59
Excellent
years.
point. That's right.
Yeah,
1967.
February 10th to be exact.
That's right.
1957.
Mm-hmm.
And 1967, I'm sorry.
67.
And and they never had to use it. This is a good time to invoke it, I think. A very good time to invoke it. I love to go on more about this, and maybe we can do some more tomorrow on the coffee hour, which you'll be here tomorrow as well, right? We can
Be here
do
tomorrow.
part. Yeah, and if anybody else want to join in on conversations with that, we would love to do that. It's something that you don't want to go talk about, but it needs to be said. It
Has to
needs
be
to
said.
be said. So until that time, Brian, I will see you tomorrow morning.
Everybody be safe and have a wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you may be.
And for the rest of you, join us back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. Brian, as I said, will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports, and we look forward to seeing you too. And then make it a point to be back here next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live with Brian Camp, my co-host, and sports. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you then. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with Frank Allen and Brian Camp. The producers are Al Dale and Katina Camp. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.